The stars burned cold above the dying earth, and Queen Sereth watched them with eyes that shimmered like molten silver. From her throne aboard the Aurelius Prime, a living ship of glass and biometal, she gazed down at the planet that had once been blue and green, now a swirl of ash and ochre. "Humanity," she whispered, her voice rippling through the hive mind that connected her to billions of her kind. They were offered peace. They answered with missiles. The hive murmured in unison, a chorus of countless voices. Destroy them all. And for a century, that's exactly what Sereth had done. She was the last queen of the Ellerai Dominion, a race of ancient telepathic beings who thrived on energy extracted from living worlds. They had encountered humanity with the intention to share technology, to offer uplift. But human greed and fear of subjugation had led to betrayal. The first delegation of Ellerai had been annihilated by orbital cannons. Humanity had struck first, and the retaliation was apocalyptic. Now, Sereth ruled over the ruins of both civilizations. Her ships haunted the outer rim of the solar system, harvesting asteroids and reclaiming relics from the dead Earth. She kept no mercy in her heart, only the lingering ache of what could have been. Then one day a signal broke through the silence. Part 1. The Last Human. It began as a faint distress beacon, centuries old, pulsing weakly from the shadow of Luna. Sereth's scanners detected it as a whisper in the void, a human frequency long thought extinct. "An anomaly," said Kareth, her second in command, a creature of sinew and crystalline armor. No humans survived. Their species was eradicated in the final cleansing. "Yet the signal exists," Sereth replied, "and I will see its source." The Aurelius Prime descended toward the dark side of the moon, its living hull folding like wings of light. Buried beneath a veil of dust and wreckage lay a human facility, ancient, rusted, forgotten. Within, the beacon blinked faintly beside a cryogenic chamber. Inside it slept a man. Sereth's curiosity stirred for the first time in centuries. The chamber's readings were stable. Its occupant had been preserved by miracle or madness. The nameplate read, "Dr. Elias Rain." "Awaken him," Sereth commanded. The chamber hissed open. Frost spilled into the dim chamber as the human stirred, coughing violently. His eyes fluttered open, catching the reflection of the alien queen's radiant form. She was tall, elegant, and terrible, her skin opalescent, her hair a halo of luminous tendrils. Her presence was overwhelming, her gaze both divine and dreadful. Elias staggered back, fear and confusion in his voice. What are you?" "I am Sereth of the Ellerai, queen of what remains," she said coldly. "You are human." "Human." He blinked. "Then the preservation worked." "How long?" 417 years since your kind's extinction," Sereth said. Elias's breath caught. "No, that's not possible. My project." He fell silent, staring at the dust that filled the air. "What project?" Sereth demanded. "I was part of the Genesis Initiative," he said slowly. "We were trying to save what was left of humanity by creating a peace envoy for the Ellerai. We wanted to show you we weren't all warmongers." The irony cut deep within Sereth's heart. "Peace centuries too late. Your people burned our worlds," she hissed. "Your envoy is a monument of ash." "And yet," Elias said softly, "you didn't kill me." That small truth struck her like a blade. She should have, but something in his voice disarmed her. Perhaps it was the steadiness of it, the spark of humanity that refused to die, even after centuries. Part 2, The Queen and the Scientist. Elias was brought aboard the Aurelius Prime, more as a curiosity than a prisoner. The ship itself responded to Saratha's will, corridors pulsing with light, walls breathing like the inside of a living organism. He spent his first days in silence, marveling at alien technology that defied human comprehension. Sarath observed him from afar, her emotions tangled in contradiction. The hive did not understand her interest. "Why preserve the remnant of our enemy?" Kareth hissed. "He is disease given form." "Perhaps," Sarath said, "but a disease can also reveal the cure." When she finally visited him again, Elias was studying the ship's inner architecture. "It's biological," he murmured. "Grown, not built." "Correct," Sarath said from behind him. He turned startled. "You really should announce yourself. I have no need for such trivialities." She regarded him closely. His body was frail compared to her kind, fragile bones wrapped in soft flesh, yet his eyes burned with an intelligence that reminded her of what humanity once was. "You fear me," she said. "I'd be stupid not to," he replied, meeting her gaze. "But fear doesn't mean hate." That answer unsettled her. Few had ever spoken to her with such calm defiance. Over the following weeks, Sarath found herself drawn to their conversations. Elias told her about music, oceans, and the laughter of children, concepts foreign to her hive-born existence. She, in turn, taught him of the Elari's neural harmonics, of how her species communicated through emotional resonance instead of sound. "You don't speak words," Elias said once. "You feel them." "Yes, to us speech is primitive. But perhaps," she paused, looking away, "perhaps it also has beauty." He smiled. "Then maybe we can learn from each other." It was in that moment Sarath realized something terrifying. She no longer looked upon him as prey. She felt something else, a resonance she hadn't known she was capable of. Part 3. The Heart That Should Not Feel. Months passed aboard the Aurelis Prime. Elias became more than a guest. He became a bridge between two civilizations long sundered. Sarath began to show him the outer colonies, the remnants of her people's vast empire. But with each day, the whispers in the hive grew louder. "The queen has grown weak. She contaminates herself with the human. The hive must endure. The queen must be replaced." Kareth led the dissent. He believed Saratha's compassion endangered the Elari's survival. When she refused to execute Elias after he accidentally disrupted a neural conduit, Kareth declared open rebellion. "The queen has forgotten who we are," he thundered before the gathered council. "She sides with the destroyers of our kin. I will not serve a traitor." Sarath stood tall, her presence blazing with fury. "You would challenge me, Kareth? For the sake of our race, yes." The battle was brief but devastating. The hive fractured as factions clashed in orbit around Neptune. Sarath fought with the fury of a goddess, her mind unleashing psychic storms that tore ships apart. Yet for every rebel she slew, her heart fractured a little more. When the smoke cleared, she was victorious, but at great cost. Half the hive was dead. The rest trembled in silence. Elias found her in the throne chamber afterward, her luminous skin dimmed, her hands trembling. "You shouldn't have done it," he whispered. "You killed your own kind." "They left me no choice," she said, voice hollow. "They could not understand what I feel." "What do you feel?" he asked. Sarath turned to him, eyes glistening like liquid mercury. "Something forbidden. Something that defies what I am." He took a step closer, unable to help himself. "Love." The word was alien on her tongue, yet it pulsed through the hive link like a forbidden melody. "Yes," she breathed. "Love." They stood in silence, two survivors of two dead civilizations, bound by something neither could fully understand. Part 4: The Human and the Hive. Over the next year, Saratha's empire changed. She began rebuilding not for conquest but for coexistence. Under Elias's guidance, she sought ways to synthesize human DNA with LRI bioengineering, creating hybrid seedlings capable of sustaining life on dead worlds. The first success came on Mars, where red deserts bloomed with strange blue flora. It was the first time in centuries that something new had grown. But peace never lasts long among the stars. From the outer rim came word of another LRI fleet, those who had fled the war, led by Caratha's progeny. They had forged alliances with synthetic war machines left over from Earth's last defenses, vowing vengeance on both human and queen alike. When the attack came, it was swift and merciless. The Aurelius Prime shuddered under bombardment. Sarath commanded the fleet with precision, but they were outnumbered. Amid the chaos, Elias worked frantically to upload a defensive algorithm into the ship's neural core. "Elias, get to the escape pod," Sarath commanded. "Not without you. The hive needs a living heir," she insisted. "You carry my symbiote. You can rebuild if I fail." He froze. Weeks earlier, she had implanted a small living shard of her essence within him, a merging of their DNA, meant to strengthen his body. "You planned this," he said, realization dawning. "I foresaw this," she replied. "Our bond was never meant to end here." The enemy breached the hull. Alarms screamed as the ship ruptured in waves of light. Sarath turned to Elias, her hand brushing his cheek for the first and last time. Her touch was warm, almost human. "Remember me," she whispered. "Not as your conqueror, but as the one who chose love over vengeance." And with that, she released a blinding psychic surge, fusing her consciousness with the Aurelius Prime. The ship became her body, her will, her final weapon. She unleashed an energy pulse that eradicated the invading fleet in a storm of light so vast it was seen from the edge of Saturn. When the brilliance faded, the Aurelius Prime was gone. Part 5: The Legacy of Sarath. Elias awoke days later in an escape pod drifting above Mars. The planet below was blooming with alien color, the hybrid life Sarath had created now spreading freely. Her voice echoed faintly in his mind, carried by the symbiote within him. "Live. Elias. Build a world where love is not forbidden." He did. Decades passed. Elias used the knowledge Sarath had left him to terraform Mars into a cradle for new life, a fusion of human resilience and LRI grace. The descendants of the hybrid seedlings became sentient, forming a new species that called themselves the Ellerans, children of two worlds, neither alien nor human, but both. They revered Sarath as their creator goddess, and Elias as her companion, the last human, the first bridge between races. When Elias's time finally came, he returned to the site of the first bloom. The Martian winds whispered across the alien flora, glowing softly beneath twin moons. He spoke aloud to the sky. "You were wrong about humanity, Sarath. We can love even after destroying everything. You just had to teach us how." A shimmer appeared before him, a mirage of light coalescing into her familiar form. "Elias," her voice echoed, neither ghost nor illusion, but the living consciousness preserved within his DNA. "I've missed you," he said, smiling weakly. "And I you," she replied. "Our bond is eternal. Through you I live. Through our love, worlds will bloom." He reached out, and though his hand met only light, he felt warmth flood his chest. Then his eyes closed, and the last human died with a smile on his face. Above the red horizon, the new Elleran civilization thrived, guided by the combined wisdom of both species. And in the heart of Mars, beneath roots that glowed like veins of starlight, the core of Aurelius Prime pulsed once more, alive with Serapha's essence, watching over the world her love had saved. Epilogue: The Queen's Return. Centuries later, explorers found a structure deep within the Martian crust, a cathedral of crystal grown around a massive, dormant heart. When they touched it, it awakened, flooding the sky with radiant energy. From the heart rose a figure of light, tall, graceful, crowned in silver. It was Seraph, reborn through the code Elias had embedded in her ship's remains. Her first words echoed through the colony. "I am Seraph of the Ellerai. I once destroyed humanity. Now I shall protect what remains of it." The people bowed before her, not in fear but in reverence. And as the twin suns rose over the new dawn, the alien queen smiled for the first time in millennia. Love had made her mortal once. Now it made her eternal,